General Manager of the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission. I am very grateful that you all came out this morning to take a look at one of our projects. We are rebuilding our water system. 2.5 million people in San Francisco Bay Area rely on the Hetch Hetchy water system for their fabulous, clean, pure, reliable drinking water. We are in the middle of a project that's going to be spending about $4.5 billion to make sure that their water remains clean, pure, and reliable. What you have before you today is the groundbreaking for what we call the Tesla Portal Ultraviolet treatment plant. And there'll be people who know a lot more than I do telling you what that means in a few minutes. But we have some honored people with us today, and they'll be speaking in a few minutes. But just introduce the people you see before you here. Obviously, Mayor Gavin Newsom from the City of San Francisco, Supervisor Leroy Ornellas, the chair of the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors, Carl Goff, the Vice President of Operating Engineers, Local 3. His folks run all those machines out there. Julie Labonte, who is the director of our program, and Bruce Macklin from the EPA. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce the Mayor of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you. Thank you all for taking the time, those of you who drove throughout the Bay Area to make it here today. I appreciate the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you and actually celebrate something good that's happening, not just in the Bay Area, but here in the state of California. We are lamenting, all of us, and I'm lamenting in particular this morning, about some of the budget challenges we face, not just locally, but obviously the challenges we face in the state. And it's one of the great truths. The reality is, if you want to deal with a budget deficit, focus on the economy, create jobs, and create opportunities. And that's exactly what we're doing here today in San Joaquin. Here in Tracy, we're focusing on creating real jobs for real people, and we're not waiting around for the state or federal government. We're actually taking responsibility and rebuilding a regional system that provides clean, safe, reliable water for 2.5 million people throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. But it also creates jobs throughout Northern California, and I think that's the principle we're also trying to advance here, and the reason we wanted to come out here to the Tesla site. It is a godsend, in hindsight, that we have this clean, reliable source of water from Hetch Hetchy, this remarkable 167-mile gravity-fed system. But it takes a lot to make sure this system is operational, and it takes a lot of work, a lot of the workers you see behind you, in front of me, to make sure this system is operational. And it's an old system, and it's a system that we recognize needed to be upgraded. And we were very blessed that we had a regional partnership where we passed bonds in excess of $4+ billion that will allow us to rebuild this system. As a consequence, we're able to direct, just with the Water System Improvement Program, some 28,000 jobs that will be created just in the next 5 years. And if you look at the Public Utilities Commission and the work that Ed Harrington has done with the commissioners, they're looking at over 63,000 jobs over the next decade that will be associated just with the work that they're producing. In particular, not just the WSIP program, the Water System Improvement Program, but also the sewer advancements that will be taking shape between 2015 and 2019. But the jobs that are being created, those 28,000 jobs, are being created now, today, right here. And these are jobs just in this region alone that will create over 220,000 craft hours, which is not insignificant. 400 jobs to this project, about 2,200 jobs in the Central Valley alone associated with the initiation of similar projects. There's 5 specific projects in the San Joaquin region over the next few years. Most of them will be stacked, I think, Ed, in the next 3 years in particular, that will again connect those 220,000 craft jobs. And they're not only Carl Goff's jobs, but they're jobs doing carpentry, roofing, masonry work. They're trucking jobs of all types. These are jobs that the kind of jobs we need to be creating in the state and obviously in this region. So long-winded way of saying we're here to celebrate. We're here to commemorate. We're here to acknowledge the wisdom of the voters a number of years ago, but now the wisdom of our regional leaders for organizing this collaborative in the collective efforts that brought us here today. This technology will make EPA very happy. I'm told that by 2012 you would otherwise be unhappy if we did not move in this direction. So we're ahead of the curve. This will be the largest UV project of its type in California. I think the 3rd largest in the nation, but the largest in the state of California. 315 million gallons of water a day will be going through this system. It's 122 million project alone, and it really represents this advanced UV technology, I think the best of what we also have to offer in this space. And so in that respect, I'm also very proud of the type of work that's being done, not just the fact that we're doing work here today. Supervisor, I thank you as representative of the county, as president of the board, for all your stewardship and help, and more importantly, your partnership with the city and county of San Francisco. And I'll close with this. I know it's difficult at times to have associations outside of your city that directly impact your jurisdiction. And so it's incredibly important. And one of the principal reasons Ed Harrington is here was his commitment to regionalizing these partnerships and making them real and building trust with our partners throughout the region. And I hope, Supervisor, you are getting a sense of that being demonstrated, not just rhetorically, but substantively. And I want you to know that the PUC recognizes its responsibility, not just as a San Francisco agency under San Francisco's jurisdiction, but truly a regional agency, recognizing the partnerships that are incredibly important. So your being here and your support of our efforts, we're immeasurably grateful as well. So thank you all very much for coming out today.
As the mayor indicated, the PUC is not new to the Central Valley. We have partners in Tuolumne County, Stanislaus County, San Joaquin County. We value them, and we value the working relationship with them. And again, with us today, Chairman of the Board of San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors.
Thank you. First of all, welcome to Mayor Newsom and to all others that are here this morning. San Joaquin County is very proud and very happy to have this project. We're a little breezy today. This is kind of unusual. We usually have wild strawberries and bunnies, but you got us on a bad day. As we look from here north, we look at this county. This is a county of just under 1 million acres. It has a population close to San Francisco's, only spread out a little bit more. Agriculture is our main industry here. It's over a $2 billion industry. We have the largest inland port on the West Coast, and we're a growing manufacturing basis. So we're a county on the move, and we're very happy to have this this structure here. I'm delighted to represent San Joaquin County here this morning and to collaborate with the San Francisco PUC on this historic water infrastructure program. As the mayor indicated, this is a prime example of two regions working together to benefit both economies. Many times the valley and the coastal interests are considered competitors. However, it is cooperation and collaboration that is needed to achieve the best results. Of course, the 900,000 trade and craft hours that will be needed between now and 2013 to accomplish this job and your other water infrastructure projects in the valley is greatly needed and appreciated. It couldn't come at a better time for this valley and for Northern California, and we thank you. And finally, I'll just close that we are proud to be the home of the largest UV water treatment facility in California. And thank you all very much.
And with the discussion of jobs, the next speaker is Carl Goff from the union that we've been working with probably most closely, the operating engineers, but we've been working with a lot of unions as this project has gone through, because these are the folks who will actually be doing the work. And not only are they doing the work for us, in many cases we're doing new things, tunnels and stuff we've never done before as part of the PUC. And we have unions that work on tunnels, and they're bringing contractors in and getting us better bids on these contracts to make sure we can all do this collectively. So the partnership is a very worthwhile one for all of us. We appreciate it, Carl.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. Mayor Newsom. Everyone for coming out today. This has been a long, it's been a long journey. Mayor Newsom was in his first term of office when we actually passed this bond measure in San Francisco. I think it was in 2004. We have been very fortunate, or I was fortunate enough to get to work with the iron workers, the operators, the laborers, the carpenters, the pipe fitters, all of the crafts in negotiating this project labor agreement, which is what brings us here today. We welcome PCL back to Northern California, and particularly into the valley out here. This project agreement that we have signed, it promotes harmony both for our signatory contractors such as Tiger Construction here in the background, The other company that I understand is WC Maloney, that has actually signed an agreement with PCL, but it also opens up opportunity for us as trades unions to work with companies that aren't historically signatory with local unions. And like I say, we look forward to fostering a long relationship with PCL and welcome up to the Bay Area. With that, I'd like to also talk just a little bit about the job opportunities. Right now, everyone knows the state of the economy that that California is in. This will actually put thousands and thousands of our construction workers back to work. You know, it's been a long, slow go. Like I say, you know, 5+ years ago now that since the passage of the bond measures, we've our apprenticeship programs. I sit as the chairman of the California Apprenticeship Council. We have struggled with our apprenticeship programs, just keeping all the young folks that are coming into our industry working. So these are the type of projects that will go on for years and years, where you can indenture young men and women into the programs, start them out right here at the Tesla facility, and have them working on the cross-county pipelines for years and years and years to come. We look forward to working with Helmets to Hard Hats, which is one of the signatories to this PLA, the Job Corps, and the other local placement centers for the young men and women for this project. And with that, like I say, on behalf of the operating engineers and organized labor in Hull, we welcome PCL back. It's good to see one of our local guys here, Tiger Construction, in the background. Mayor Newsom, thank you again for having the foresight to put all this to work. This is one that we don't have to worry about passing next Tuesday. We can actually put people to work back out here next Wednesday. Thank you guys very much, and have a good day. If there's anything that we can do as organized labor, please let us know.
Thank you very much, Carl. The next up is the person who keeps all this whole project, the WESA project, together, Julie Labonte, and Julie will be talking about what this is that's going on here. But to introduce a few other PUC people that are in the audience today, Harlan Kelly, who's our Assistant General Manager for Infrastructure, Laura Spangen, the AGM for External Affairs, Andrew DeGrassa, who's the Manager of our Water Quality Division, Dave Briggs, who is the Manager of our Water Supply and Treatment Division. All of these folks have something to do with making this work, let me assure you. And Margaret Hannaford, who's in charge of the Hetch Hetchy system from the Tuolumne all the way to here. And Julie, please tell us what this is.
I'm a little shorter than the previous speakers. Good morning, everyone. It's a big thrill for me to be here this morning and be joined by Mayor Newsom and General Manager Harrington, who have been such great advocates for the Water System Improvement Program. And thank you for joining us to celebrate the start of construction for the first project here in the San Joaquin Valley. This is a perfect example of the progress that is being made in the implementation of our program. As of today, more than half of the 84 WESIP projects are either currently in construction or have been completed. So we're moving forward as quickly as possible here. Today we celebrate innovation in water treatment and the significant steps that are being taken to ensure that we continue to deliver one of the nation's highest quality water. This project, of course, is of great significance to the 2.5 million people who we deliver water to. By adding UV energy to water, we add a protective barrier against waterborne pathogens. This is actually required under a new treatment rule, and we will be actually being able to complete this facility a full year ahead of the compliance date. This is also one of our first, or actually the first project to be implemented using a design-built delivery method, where we actually delegate a lot of the design responsibilities to the builder of the facility. And that delivery method is what is allowing us to actually deliver this program ahead of schedule. And of course, the timely delivery of this program is one of our top priority at the PUC, and none of this would be possible without the great contribution of many of our project teams. And I wanted to take the opportunity this morning to recognize some of the incredible work performed by key members of the team members for this project. And they include Ramon Garcia, who is the regional project engineer, Bijan Ahmadzadeh, who is the project manager, Mike Tennant, project engineer, Karen Fry, our environmental project manager, Ennio Sebastiani, water quality engineer, and Steve Shaw, our operations liaison. I began my career as an engineer in water quality, so I have full appreciation of all the challenges associated with maintaining one of the nation's top quality water, and it's therefore my pleasure to introduce the regional toxicologist with the Drinking Water Division of the US EPA, Mr. Bruce Mackler.
I appreciate San Francisco's invitation to the EPA to come and say a couple of words at the dedication of this facility. San Francisco, the Public Utility Commission and the Water Department particularly are as part of the large professional community that ensures safe water delivery to the whole of the Bay Area and to the whole state, and the way we look at it at EPA is in terms of the country. And I wanted to acknowledge too the leadership of the Water Division over the many years, and the individuals that have contributed to the overall progress we have in the safe water in the United States. So thank you for that. This is a very exciting situation we're coming up with in terms of this project. There are regulations. EPA does write regulations. The state of California makes sure they happen. But it takes a proactive efforts of utilities like SFPUC to make that a reality and to protect the public. And the use of UV here is groundbreaking in a sense. Certainly this is the largest system in California, one of the largest in the country. UV is coming on the scene as a means to help disinfect water, to protect it more thoroughly than it already is. You are blessed with very, very high quality water coming from the Sierras that really requires very little treatment. But being proactive and adding on this additional barrier of UV will further protect the water. So we're excited to see this going on. We'll be excited to see how it progresses over the years. We like the proactive nature of San Francisco in this endeavor. And one of the things that came out today was the benefits, the economic benefits of environmental protection. Those are things that we actually consider important in our agency and the new administration, and we like to see that all go. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce. When we go to these things, everybody says, so what's the big deal? You're building a building back here and you're going to run some water through it. Actually, this is our version of the Bay Bridge. If you've been noticing, they've been building that second place right there for the Bay Bridge, and they're going to move everything over at some point and go through the tunnel. That's what we're doing here. We're going to be building a facility up here. Our pipes go through where you see that surge tower there. That's where it goes into the mountain, into the tunnel. And we're going to have to shut down the Hetchy system and move all the pipes over into this facility so all the water can flow through it. That's going to be a really fun, interesting, and somewhat exciting time, because we only have a certain amount of time we can shut the Hetchy system down and rely on local watershed. And so these things look simple, but they really get quite involved when you see what's going on. A few more introductions, and then we're going to show you some demonstrations. Our other partners on this, obviously the people who are working on the project, John Platts from Calgon Carbon Corporation, who will be coming up and showing us what UV means right here. Gary Brasser, Vice President from Jacobs Engineering. Louis Ventosa, President of PCL Constructors, Inc., Peter Mueller, and the Senior Architect with Stantec. And so with that, John, want to come on up and show us this.
Thank you. I've been given 1 minute to explain UV as it relates to this project, and I'm going to take some of that time to express Calgon Carbon's appreciation for the involvement with this project. This 350 million gallon a day project is a prominent position in our just over 3 billion gallon a day supply thus far of UV for drinking water treatment. enough said. At its simplest, UV treatment is manifest by lights in a pipe. We have a flow-through reactor, which you see behind me. This is our 12-inch Sentinel reactor. It is an actual reactor that is sold across the world for UV disinfection, capable of treating up to 5 million gallons a day. Now, in contrast to that, you'll see on the posters over here the comparison to the 48-inch flanged reactors that are going to be provided for this facility. The smallest reactor uses 3 4-kilowatt lamps, and the 48-inch Sentinel the 12 Sentinels that are heading here will have 9 20-kilowatt lamps each. As we move through the day, please come take a look. You can see inside you have lamps in quartz sleeves. There's an automatic cleaning mechanism. To assure treatment, we have a sensor on every lamp, both in this 12-inch unit and the 48-inch unit that's heading this way. We're proudly manufacturing these units in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And if you have any questions, I'll be here, and I'll be very pleased to answer them. Thank you.
And you did a very good job in just about a minute. Thank you very much. The next will be the groundbreaking, and so we're going to be walking out that way and over to the backhoe to do a big shovel. There is water over here. If anybody needs some water, it's a warm day, so please feel free to get some water. And we'll be walking over there. You can feel free to follow us part of the way. They don't want us too close to all that machinery, though, so feel free. Thank you very much.
Where's my beer? Sorry.
Hey, we don't allow that. You don't want to.